Hey there, Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. And if you are new here, my name is Hannah. I am a Western Practical Astrologer. Okay, so today we are going to be talking all about White Moon Selena. And this is the first time that I will be talking about White Moon Selena on the channel. So I hope that you find this information to be helpful. This could be very new to you. Let me know, have you heard of White Moon Selena / Selene before? Okay, so let me just present this information. We're going to be looking at Selena through the signs in this video, really showing you the how, so how this energy manifests within your chart. However, before we do dive in, if you want to learn more about astrology, head on over to the Cosmic Check-In podcast. And if you want to learn more as well, you can always pick up a copy of my astrology cheat sheets. They are available for purchase over on my website, hannahselsewhere.com. And naturally, you can also book a reading with me if you're interested by going to hannahselsewhere.com. Thank you so much. Okay, there is a full episode all about White Moon Selena in astrology. I talk about Selena's function more there in greater detail. And I also talk about the relationship between White Moon Selena and then Black Moon Lilith, because there's that relationship between the two. So make sure to check out that episode. It is episode 47. But let me go over some basic pieces of information just to keep this brief. White Moon Selena in the birth chart can really point toward divine protection, spiritual guidance, and divine truth. It can almost feel like you're being guided by your guardian angels, by your spirit guides. It can feel like you're being protected by those angels, by your angels, blessed as well by them, as if you're able to move beyond any fear or doubt. The way I even imagine Selena in the chart is those times whenever we feel like all hope is lost, whenever we feel like we've been backed into a corner and there's no way out, there's no way to get past it. I feel as if Selena shows up as that inner guidance, that little piece, that little glimpse of light. And I'm also going to say that this is about divine intervention, right? So have you ever been in a situation where you think, oh, damn, I wish I didn't miss that. But then maybe later on you hear a piece of news and maybe someone connected to that event they could have been hurt, or there could have been some kind of emergency. So then in hindsight, you think, well, I was being protected. Okay, it's that sort of feeling. But then this can also manifest in different ways with this divine intervention. I even imagine, for example, being rejected, right? Being rejected for how you show up within a job interview, or being rejected when it comes to a particular relationship. And then you think, yep, divine intervention, right? Because then you think there's a better job out there for me, or there's a better relationship out there for me. Moreover, Selena can point towards our spiritual gifts. So yeah, that's an interesting one. And it's those spiritual gifts that may not be so obvious to us. But yeah, maybe by exploring Selena in the chart, maybe a few light bulb moments will go off for you. Plus, White Moon Selena can show up as our connection to past lives. We're not going to be touching on that, of course, today, but just remember that, right? There's some kind of connection to past lives. And I'm also just going to add quickly that I did hear that when it comes to working with both White Moon Selena and Black Moon Lilith, so the White Moon and the Black Moon, there are those connections to the nodes at the same time. So maybe what we want to do is we want to think about where both of these points are. Of course, white moon and black moon, they're both points in the chart. See where those points are, and then also look to the nodes, right? The nodes are also points. And maybe those 4 different points can assist you when it comes to your life path, when we really think about this through more of a spiritual lens, an esoteric lens. And to add to this, if you want to find the white moon in your chart, use code H56. You put that into the additional objects section, the manual entry. Moreover, I want to add that karma is tied to Selena. So karma for our good deeds, for example, even the good deeds that we may have done in a past life, we could be rewarded, so to speak, for how we show up in this life. But really, it's about aligning with what is good, our virtues, taking the higher road, greater awareness of our shadow self too, not letting those parts take over. And that's fascinating because, like I said, there is a relationship between both the white moon and the black moon. And in this regard, maybe Lilith can at times create havoc, right? Lilith can at times point toward the shadow self, but in this unhealthy way whenever we don't integrate it well. So maybe white moon Selena can assist us, can help us out. And then I think to myself about the temperance card, right? So the temperance card does have that angel on it, and there is that feeling with the temperance card of cooperation and balance. So maybe this is about fostering cooperation between Lilith and Selena, bringing those 2 seemingly opposite parts together, thinking about how they can work together as a team. Naturally, today we're going to be focusing more so on the sign, so the white moon sign. But if that's something you may be interested in, when we think about the relationship between white moon Selena and black moon Lilith, let me know. That could be something I could talk about at a later stage. Okay, so with all of that being explained, let's get into your sign. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, let's do this then. Let's talk about white moon through the signs. First up, we have Selena in the sign of Aries. What can this suggest for you? Well, there's a suggestion here that you are guided towards the heat of battle. Times when life can feel all too much, as if you're about to explode with fury, with so much anger. It seems as if you are shown the path towards victory. You're shown the win. You're guided towards stepping up to a challenge and overcoming a particular challenge. It's almost like before it gets to a point where your anger really eats you up, or you feel like you're about to go there, so to speak, there's a fight within you. If or when others even try to compete with you or fight with you unnecessarily, it's as if you are you're picked up, and you're taken out of that situation. That's where this divine intervention plays out. But you see, this is also about honor. Fighting dirty will not serve you well with this placement, because remember, this is also about our good deeds and acting in accordance with our virtues. So fighting dirty is not going to serve you well, nor will throwing cheap shots. Your actions are blessed, you see, when you stand for what is right, when you defend the vulnerable and the innocent. Okay, so this is acting in this way, but in a virtuous way, in an honorable way. And so when you do that, what you may find is that your guardian angels, they protect you. Your guardian angels, they protect your passions and they protect your goals. And keep in mind that a lot of this could be unexplainable, right? It can be a case of, oh, I had no idea. I had no idea that I was being watched over, looked over like that. Thank you so much, White Moon Selena in Aries. And now we're going to move on to Selena in Taurus. Okay, White Moon Selena in Taurus, folks, let's talk about you. You seem to be guided within the material world. Times when you may be worried about your physical security, or when you feel insecure about your financial position or your body. You may be shown the path towards greater serenity, peace, comfort, relaxation. And if you are ever faced with a difficult practical decision, maybe a pathway opens up, which then involves useful solutions. You're basically reminded of your resourcefulness. You're also reminded of your patience and your steadiness. By you aiming to be consistent and stable as a person, this is where you are largely protected. I'm even thinking here about you being soothed in a way, soothed by the universe, so to speak, soothed by your guardian angels. There appears to be a calming presence. So, times whenever maybe life does feel challenging or difficult, you can perhaps go within and find that calming, peaceful part of you. And then maybe also a part of this is about not being so possessive or fixed on things, right? Because possessiveness will not serve you well with this, nor will having this scarcity mindset. And I know that that can sound a bit challenging, especially during times when it does look like, oh my gosh, financially, resource wise, pleasure wise, material wise, it's not looking good. But White Moon Selena can certainly shed light on this guidance and this trust. And perhaps this is where divine intervention can step in, right? Maybe aligning with intuitive pings or hits, or suddenly seeing the path open up. Or maybe a part of this is about appreciating what you do have to a large extent. See, your comforts are blessed when it's grounding yourself in the here and now. Basically trying not to get carried away with, oh my gosh, this is going to happen in the future, or fixating on the past. It's more about trying to be grounded and present within your body and listening to your body. I think that's a big lesson here, is to tune in with your body. And so maybe in this way, it is important to even recognize what you put into your body, what you consume, what you eat, all that stuff. But basically here, your guardian angels, they protect your sense of inner security, your inner calm. They might also protect your skills and your creativity. So if we think about a particular skill that you want to refine or you're interested in, then it's almost like your angels will guide you towards that and support you. Thank you very much, White Moon Selena in Taurus, folks. And now we're going to move on to Selena in Gemini. All right, moving on then to White Moon Selena in Gemini, folks. Let's talk about this placement. Well, it appears as if you are guided when it comes to anything that you're essentially really, really curious about, you're interested in, you're learning about, even when it comes to educating yourself. You're guided in a way when it comes to how you communicate. Times when you're unsure or when you don't know how to make a decision, when you feel overwhelmed mentally, when it feels really scattered in your mind, or you're super restless, or it feels like you have so many ideas, but it's hard to focus, all those things. You are shown the path towards healthy reason and a clear mind. There's such profound clarity that can come through. So if you find yourself muddled all over the place in your thought process, in your way of communicating, or as if to say, oh my gosh, this person's not listening to me, I'm finding the communication between us really difficult, the information you need presents itself almost out of thin air, almost like you get it, or the other person finally gets it. You're reminded essentially your intelligence. But this is also fresh ideas. You could actually be very gifted at coming up with fresh, new, exciting ideas. And at the same time, those ideas making logical sense. However, we also want to be mindful here because trickery, misleading others, regurgitating information, uh, theft, copying, things like that. These matters will not serve you well, okay? So this is something to be mindful of, right? Because this is what we're trying to get at with White Moon Selena. With White Moon Selena, it's very much about our good deeds. So times whenever we are not in alignment with our virtues, with doing the right thing in this regard, this could be where it may not, it may not feel like we are supported. We can sort of go against ourselves at times, against what is the best for us, our best course of action. Still, your connections are blessed when you use your voice, when you study, when you research, when you even become a master within a particular subject field, right? Your guardian angels basically protect your studies. They protect your mindset. They protect your ability to connect the dots. And then even when we think about this divine intervention stuff, this could be a situation where, maybe you feel a bit like, oh, I really wanted to talk about that or explore that subject, but that person's already went forward with that idea. And oh my gosh, right? Divine intervention could come along and say, hey, that wasn't the path for you, or hey, still go with that idea, but how can you maybe be a bit flexible, try something different, explore other options. Really, you're protected when it comes to exploring variety and to look at all different options, to look at all different sides of an equation. Thank you very much, Selena and Gemini, folks. And now on to White Moon Selena in Cancer. Okay, White Moon Selena in Cancer, folks. Let's talk about this placement for you. Well, you are guided when it comes to how you connect with others emotionally. And thinking about being very receptive, being very supportive. So, times when it seems like others are hard to reach on a really, really personal level, times when it's maybe difficult to assist them or to support them, to nurture them, you are shown how to do that. You're shown how to nurture, how to support them in a very loving way. So I imagine this, for example, as a friend or your child maybe going through something emotional, and then you being concerned or worrying about them, and maybe fearing a little bit like, I'm not sure if I'm equipped for this. I'm not sure if I have what it takes to support them through this. But actually, White Moon Selena says you do. You have all of the tools you need. You just got to go within. You're gonna get through this. The answers you're looking for will open up. And then if you find yourself tangled up even in other people's emotional distress, so times whenever you're too entangled or you're too caught up in them, because that can happen with Cancer, right? It's as if you're reminded of your own needs by your angels. They also can support you with this divine intervention. They'll kind of pick you up and say, hey, nope, this isn't healthy for you. I think it's time that you went and had a cup of tea or got outside, got some fresh air, or you had some time for yourself. You're basically reminded by your guardian angels about your personal feelings and the importance of nurturing your emotions as well. But this is also about trusting your intuition. Repeating unhealthy emotional habits, so even clinging too much or manipulating the situation, smothering others, well, these behaviors are not going to serve you very well. This could be where you're actually going against yourself. You're going against your greater good. What's the best for you? What's also the best for the situation, right? So, yes, be mindful of doing that. And at the same time, well, your emotions are blessed when you regulate, when you're able to bring some kind of awareness to, oh, hold on, okay, let me just process this. Let me ask myself how I'm feeling in this moment. Is this mine to carry? Is this not mine to carry? Your guardian angels essentially protect your reactions. They may even protect your family life. Hey, it could even be a case of you feeling somewhat blessed when it comes to how you support or care for your children, even possibly when it comes to wanting to have children, though I'm not going to say that that is a definitive thing. But I'm still thinking that, hey, maybe this could be a good sign of fertility, for example. Or you know what? It could be this sign of feeling somewhat protected and blessed when it comes to those comfort levels that are experienced amongst family within your family home in general. Thank you so much, Selena in Cancer, folks. And now on to White Moon Selena in Leo. White Moon Selena in Leo, folks. Let's talk about this placement for you. All right. You are guided when you express yourself, when you show the world the real you, when you are able to say, this is me, this is who I am, this is my individuality. Times when your confidence takes a hit, it takes a blow, or times when you fear being seen or you fear too much attention, too much recognition, or times when you fear being seen as labeled as a show off, it's as if a red carpet opens up and your angels, they're singing, strut your stuff, your stuff, go, 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 Selena and Leo, right? So this is pretty exciting if you think about it. Massive confidence shifts, confidence protection, divine timing, divine intervention, even when it comes to your self-expression. And also when we think about your creative flair, okay, maybe you possess some sort of spiritual gifts tied to creativity, for example. And if you do find yourself playing small or refraining from being authentic, right? If you kind of start to act in this cowardly way or you hide, you are guided towards joy. You are guided towards excitement and that passion. It's almost like times whenever you forget about your creativity, okay? So you're reminded of your creativity. Times whenever you forget about your spark and you notice maybe that your light is dimmer or life is just harder and then it's difficult to create, it's difficult to feel good. I imagine this as the divine intervention coming along and your guardian angel saying, come on, this isn't you. This isn't you. So, indeed, this is about your shine, your glow, your individuality. However, pretentiousness will not serve you well here. Nor will putting others down so that you look good, right? So we want to be mindful here because this would not be living in accordance with the goodness of this, with your virtues. But you see, your creations, they are blessed when you shine with warmth, with warmth. So in a way, it's about being able to shine and be an individual within your own right, but you don't have to bring other people down in order to do that. And I'm sure you can think of many ways that that can manifest. This is about your own authenticity and creativity without trying to take the spotlight away from another person, right? So, your guardian angels, what they do is they protect your charisma. They protect even your dignity. They protect your pride a little bit. And I'm also thinking that this could even go the other way, where the divine intervention, this protection by your guardian angels, is linked to that of times when others try to tear you down or take the spotlight off you, right? If anybody tries to step into that creative sphere with you and try to get the attention away from you and onto them, oh my gosh, this is where your angels say, no, we will gladly get rid of that. We will find ways so that that doesn't happen. But yes, thank you so much, Selena and Leo folks. And now we're going to move on to White Moon Selena in Virgo. All right, White Moon Selena in Virgo people. Let's talk about this placement and how it may manifest for you. Well, it appears as if you are guided when it comes to figuring out systems, figuring out methods that work, when it comes to making improvements, right? Refining matters. You seem to be pretty good, pretty gifted, if you will. And also, you can be guided when it comes to taking care of your health, right? So, times when you get caught up in this spiral of perfectionism where you're excessively worrying or you're super hard on yourself and it's not helpful, or times when you start to experience this analysis paralysis, it's almost as if you are then shown the path. The path opens up towards acceptance, towards less self-criticism, almost like your guardian angels, your guides, they pick you up and they place you down and say, hey, this is the solution, or hey, this is something you need to stop doing so that you feel better, so that you are a lot more healthy. And if you find yourself then overwhelmed by stress, right, with a lot of stress to do with Virgo, yes, in a similar fashion, solutions, they present themselves. You are reminded of your healthy tools, what you have in your toolkit already. And therefore, when we consider this divine intervention, this, for example, could be about you feeling a lot of pressure or stress, maybe from all of your obligations, your responsibilities, your duties, helping people, the to-do list, all of these things. So divine intervention could show up and say, well, you're not going to go to that event today, or work, there's a delay with work, or there's a situation there, or there's a situation going on with your parent or a family member, and it's not today. You can rest today. But you see, then this is where discernment comes in, using your discernment. I'm even thinking that this is a part of the blessing, is your ability to use discernment. And the other thing about it, just to mention, is being bogged down in details will not serve you well here. Nor will freaking out about things you can't control. Nagging, insisting, pushing for things to be fixed, it's not going to work out very well here. So a part of this, I guess, is to be able to allow for certain things to unfold as they may without you interfering. And at the same time, your everyday, it is blessed when you do adapt, when you do make certain small, simple adjustments to your day. It's like, oh, right, okay, well, maybe life is easier. Things just feel better. Your guardian angels, essentially, they protect your schedules. They protect your rituals. They protect those daily habits you do. So even during times when it feels like, oh, I'm not in the same routine, it's all muddled, I don't feel like myself because I'm not able to have my morning coffee the same way, I'm not able to go on my walk the same way, right? So times when those kinds of situations happen, again, it's almost like your guardian angels will pick you up and will open up the path again for you. And so it is, to an extent, about adapting to those subtle changes. Thank you very much, Selena in Virgo. Now we're going to move on to White Moon Selena in Libra. Okay, White Moon Selena in Libra, folks. Let's explore this placement for you. Well, just want to say firstly that this is a placement I have, and White Moon Selena in Libra makes a lot of significant aspects to other planets in my chart. I'll mention them quickly here. So White Moon Selena in Libra makes trines to the Sun and Mercury in my chart, and there are parts of the Selena in Gemini, Selena in Leo descriptions that I could connect with a little bit with those influences. But then White Moon Selena also makes an opposition to the moon and a square to Venus. So that's interesting to think about those challenges. But anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about you. Selena and Libra people, you are guided when you collaborate, when you relate to others. You are guided when it comes to pairing up relationships, creating harmony within the atmosphere, when it comes to seeing both sides or all sides of a situation, when it comes to weighing out your options, the pros and the cons. And so, times whenever you are completely unsure, right? You just, no idea, indecision, you're unsure of how you come across, or you're unsure of the best way forward for yourself, what project to take or to pick, or what new experience to take on or be open to. Times whenever you lose balance, even in your life, right? Where there's just so many things to juggle, you are basically shown the path. You are shown the path towards this healthy pace, equilibrium, restoring the balance you seek. So indeed, if you find yourself in this state of indecision, or as if others are even being unfair, the answers come through. They come through. And I think a part of this process is still about weighing things out or being patient. There is a patience to Libra. You're also reminded of your diplomatic skills, of your ability to collaborate, cooperate, to negotiate, to be reasonable with other people. But you see, this is also about truth. And so, truth, the justice, the truth stuff to do with Libra could also require some cutting, so to speak, right? So, to cut away from certain things, or to say that something isn't serving you anymore, right? The truth can also be challenging to accept, especially if that truth is something that you're used to being acceptable or comfortable with. Of course, this could be about truth related to relationships or a lack of balance, a lack of harmony. And manipulating will not serve you well here, nor will telling others what they want to hear. That's a big lesson, I think, with this placement. But still, having said that, your relationships, they are blessed when you're smart, when you're reasonable, when you're thoughtful. Your guardian angels, they protect your beauty. They protect your grace. To even follow on from this point, I do think with the divine intervention, it's like your guardian angels step in and they say, hey, this relationship you're in, this agreement that you're taking part in, you're involved with, let's just move you away from that. That's not very good. And in a similar fashion, if, for example, you take part in people pleasing, I'm thinking that your guardian angels can help you out there too. Thank you so much, Selena in Libra. And now we're going to move on to White Moon Selena in Scorpio. Moving on then to White Moon Selena in Scorpio, folks. Let's explore this placement for you. What can this suggest? Well, it appears as if you are guided when you tap into your personal power. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So times whenever you're overpowered, controlled, times whenever manipulative tactics come in, power plays, or times whenever you even go to extremes, right? It's as if a voice inside you says, get back up, keep fighting. That's not healthy. Stop doing that. Cut that out. And if you find yourself consumed by your heavy emotions, really heavy, really, really raw, just hard to process emotions, basically, or if you find yourself spiraling in this unpleasant place where it feels black, it feels really dark, it feels like there's nowhere to turn, the path of self-mastery opens up. It presents itself. It says, follow me. See, you are reminded of your strength, your resilience, your courage. But you see, this is also about a lot of integration. This is about processing, allowing yourself to feel the depths of your emotions without becoming swallowed whole by those emotions. This is also about magic and alchemy. This is about transmuting your emotions from one emotion into another. This is about transformation, to transform, to evolve through a challenging experience, to go through those kinds of dark night of the soul experiences, if you will, and to come out even stronger, right? To come out with so much knowledge and wisdom and truth. However, projecting onto others, putting your stuff onto others, it's not going to serve you well. Because by doing that, you're not aligning with your virtues. You're not aligning with the good, if you will. Nor will suppressing your emotions. That's also not going to serve you well here. Having said that, yes, when we think about White Moon Selena, a big part of it is about divine intervention. So that divine intervention could show up as reminding you, hold on, be careful not to suppress your emotions there. Be careful about numbing your pain. Be careful about, that addictive tendency you have. Maybe don't go for the alcohol, just as an example. So then again, you can be guided away, protected. Plus, your transformations are blessed when you're vulnerable. A big part of this is about vulnerability, being honest about, okay, oh my gosh, maybe there is a fear you have, something you are actually struggling with. But hey, your guardian angels, they protect your emotional world. They protect even your shared resources, your debts, any debts that you have, anything that you may be struggling with, pain-wise, suffering-wise. So a lot of the emotional stuff to do with Scorpio. Plus, I'm also thinking that with this protection, people who maybe want to see your downfall, people who maybe want to see you suffer, or who have tried to step into that power dynamic with you, again, this is where you're protected. This is where divine intervention occurs. Thank you so much, Selena in Scorpio, folks. And now we're going to talk about White Moon Selena in Sagittarius. All right, White Moon Selena in Sagittarius, folks. Let's explore this placement for you. So, it appears as if you are guided when you are adventurous, when it comes to being free-spirited, when it comes to exploration and just wanting to broaden your horizons, wanting to step outside of your comfort zone, right? You are guided when it comes to those things. So, times whenever you feel like you're being pulled in so many different directions, or times whenever you get caught up in more and more and more and more, and then because of that, it's really difficult to feel centered, a pathway of truth, it opens up and your visions become clearer. It's like you can use greater foresight, right? You can see things a lot more vividly. The truth is certainly revealed in this regard. And if you ever find yourself even living beyond your means, right, where you can overconsume, you can overindulge, you can overcommit, you can overdo it basically, or times whenever you find yourself questioning your meaning, clarity is bestowed upon you. It all makes sense. Matters that maybe you were worried about or you were thinking too much about, they start to fade away because you're reminded of your aim. So anything that distracts you from your aim, right? It's that the bow and arrow with Sagittarius. Anything that distracts you from that focus, I guess. Basically, those things, whilst they hold some kind of value and some kind of spiritual truth or lessons within your life, they're not going to be as interruptive or as interfering. They're not gonna basically take you off your path too much. You're still gonna live in alignment. And this is also about knowledge. However, running away from your problems, it's not going to serve you well here. Running away from maybe the hard stuff, this is not going to serve you, nor will preaching at others or telling other people how to live their lives and being really dogmatic and really set in your ways about this is the truth, and telling people that if you don't follow this, then it must mean X, Y, and Z, right? It's not going to work here. Still, your beliefs, they are blessed when you're somewhat open. Okay, when you're somewhat curious, and whenever you have this desire to want to experience new things. And your guardian angels could very well protect your travels, protect your philosophies. So I imagine this as you being somewhat protected when you do travel, or whenever you decide to take on a new course or a new training program. And even times whenever you realize, oh no, this is not the destination for me. This is not the belief system I want to have. This is not the worldview that I agree with. Again, your guardian angels take you out of that scenario and help you align with something that does serve you better. It's more truthful. It's more in accordance with your truth. Thank you so much, Selena and Sagittarius, folks. Now we're going to move on to White Moon Selena in Capricorn. Okay, White Moon Selena in Capricorn, peoples. Let's explore this placement for you. How might this manifest? Well, you could very well be guided when you climb your mountain of success. When it comes to related matters related to your ambitions, related to success. So times whenever you feel like giving up, times whenever it feels like all hope is lost, when you feel like a failure due to setback after setback, delay after delay, like why am I doing this? It's as if a voice inside of you says, keep going. One more hurdle, one more hurdle, one more hurdle. You've already overcome so many hurdles. So why would you stop now? It's that type of attitude. And so if you find yourself in this low, this negative mood where you're so pessimistic, you're looking at things as half empty, you're looking at things as, oh, I can never do that. No way. Times whenever you basically punish yourself, right? So you find yourself in these moments, a path of encouragement, a path of strength and victory and resilience. These things open up. Maybe a part of this is that the voice says, why do you have to make it so difficult for yourself to an extent? It doesn't have to be this difficult. You're essentially reminded, though, of your dedication, and also you're reminded of your ability to take accountability, to be responsible. And that responsibility doesn't necessarily have to be about difficulty. Taking your failures, though, out on others is not going to serve you well. So making it out that it's everybody else's fault, right? It's the whole world out there. It's their fault that I'm not winning. It's their fault that I'm not doing well at this. Not going to serve you well. The excuses, not going to serve you well. Nor will being ruthless, and nor will being domineering or being really cold and callous and calculative. Not with this one. Because after all, White Moon Selena is about our virtues, right? There's a virtuous feel. There's an honorable feel. Still, your successes, they are blessed when you're respectful, when you're dedicated, you're disciplined, when you show integrity. Yeah, when you show integrity. Whenever you respect yourself, this is where you're truly blessed. Whenever you can set healthy limits, healthy boundaries with yourself. And this is also where we see your guardian angels protecting your ambitions, protecting your discipline. So even though a part of this could manifest as you potentially fearing that a certain career path, a certain accomplishment or an achievement, that those things are going to be taken away or something is going to happen and it's all just going to turn out really bad, right? I imagine this as your guardian angels saying, no, this is not the way. Actually, when you keep putting one foot in front of the other as you climb that mountain of success, you're going to find that the path, it's going to open, it's going to open, it's going to open. But a lot of this is about doing so with integrity, aligning with your virtues. Plus, just quickly, I'm thinking about the divine intervention. Even if, for example, there is a situation and it's related to a certain ambition and accomplishment, and you might fear that, oh, something's going to happen, right? The divine intervention could actually be where, okay, sure, maybe you didn't get that role, maybe you didn't get that position, but trust that there's an even better one with your name on it, right? Thank you so much, Selena and Capricorn, folks. And now on to White Moon Selena in Aquarius. Okay, White Moon Selena in Aquarius, folks. Let's talk about you. What is this placement all about? Well, there is a suggestion here that you are guided when you see life differently. When you are able to think outside of the box or see things in a different light, this is how you're guided. So times whenever you're treated like an outcast for your difference, or as if you don't belong, it's as if you are picked up and you are set in an environment that does not allow for these kinds of behaviors to happen, right? So it's almost like in actuality, you are accepted, you are seen, you are appreciated for your uniqueness, for your quirks, for your eccentricities, right? You sort of find your tribe, you find your people. And if you find yourself swept away by chaos, the mania, the disruptions, where it feels as if you're being tossed and turned and shaken up too much, and it's hard to find routine, it's hard to feel stable and steady. Or if you feel this push to break away, well, the path of stability, the path of independence, it opens up for you. Okay? You're basically reminded of your freedom. You're reminded that you can break away from a particular situation that, for example, it may not be serving you anymore. You may have outgrown it. You may feel like, I've evolved past this. I don't think the same. I don't feel the same about this situation. It just doesn't align with my morals. It doesn't align with my principles. No way, right? It's this trust that the new is going to present itself, the new opportunity, the new friendship group, the new job, the new relationship, whatever it is. You're going to evolve so much. And that is also where I think the divine intervention comes in. And I think even a part of that divine intervention is tied to connections. It's about, oh, I was talking to this person and they know this other person over here. Oh, I'm going to maybe go over and talk to them. And oh, they know each other. And It's that networking influence, it's that group connection, and even seeing things from a bird's eye view as well could be pretty big here. So indeed, divine intervention can step in and can help you align with your purpose, with what is the best way forward for you. But you see, this is also about being humane, because being dogmatic, it's not going to serve you well here, nor will dehumanizing others, nor will being super attached or aloof to the point where you don't really show any sort of care or thought for other people, where you feel like, well, yeah, I am better, and you act with this God complex, right? It's not going to serve you well here. No. Nor will forcing your difference onto other people in a way, right? It's like, I'm just going to be different for the sake of being different. It's not really authentic. It's not really genuine. And your innovations are blessed when you are a team player, right? And your innovations may also be blessed when you are unique. Still, your guardian angels, they protect your research. They protect your genius. So anytime when you feel like, oh, what's this all for? I'm trying to innovate this space. I'm thinking about the future. No one's keeping up with me, right? Your guardian angels say, give it time. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Heck, this could even be once you're gone. And then all of a sudden that thing, it picks up. Who knows? Anyway, thank you so much, Selena in Aquarius, folks. Now we're going to move on to White Moon Selena in Pisces. Lastly, then, we have White Moon Selena in Pisces, folks. Okay, let's talk about what this placement may suggest for you. Well, you just might be guided when you allow for the mysteries of life to unfold. So when you truly surrender, when you truly can be passive and sit back and say, okay, I'm trusting in you, universe. I'm trusting in my guardian angels, right? When you can do that, this is where basically the path opens up. This is where you are guided. So times when you're overwhelmed by your emotions, or when you dissolve yourself and you merge with others, or you might merge too much, it's as if a spiritual sponge is handed to you and you can wring out other people's energy. And if you find yourself in a state of delusion, chaos, inner turmoil, feeling lost, helplessness, directionless, as if you just do not know where to turn, again, this path of serenity, it opens up. You are guided, you are supported. You are, I think, reminded of your inspiration. So what truly speaks to you, what inspires you, what speaks to your soul. Evolution is a part of this too. So seeing times whenever you've outgrown a particular situation and you're ready to take on a new spiritual path. You're ready to evolve past a particular relationship, job, matter, whatever it is. However, this is also about being tender. This tenderness, a softness, a calmness, a patience. But you see, being susceptible, being easily influenced or gullible, these things are not going to serve you very well. Nor will being the martyr, nor will being the victim. So if you just go, oh no, well, that's completely, it's not my responsibility. No, well, actually it was this thing and that thing, and you kind of make excuses, or if you try to bury your head in the sand, avoid, It's not going to work very well here. Because the thing about White Moon Selena is that it is so much about our virtues and aligning with our spiritual virtues. And I'm also thinking that when it comes to this divine intervention, I'm thinking that divine intervention can show up in your life in really mysterious ways, in ways where you think, I can't even explain that. Like, how did that even occur? How did that even happen? It can be so challenging to pinpoint. But even, you know what? It's so symbolic, right? The divine interventions are so tied to symbolism and seeing the synchronicities in things, seeing the subtle changes that happen within the environment. All these kinds of things come through. And your spiritual insights, they are blessed when you're self-compassionate, even whenever you're able to forgive yourself, to practice that self-forgiveness. Your guardian angels, they protect your dreams. They protect your spiritual gifts, your spiritual practices. So, for example, if you have this placement and you do possess some kind of spiritual gift and it's maybe tied to your psychic abilities, maybe this is where your spiritual angels can help you out. Maybe they can help you learn more about your dreams and the symbolism of your dreams. They can help you even act as a guide for others. It's as if it's your guardian angels that are trying to live through you in a way so that you can support other people. You can be of service to other people. But yet, equally, your guardian angels are going to help guide you away from unhealthy people, right? Energy vampires, people who just take and take and take. So, everybody, this has been, thank you very much, Selena and Pisces folks, and thank you everyone for watching. Yes, this has been the video all about White Moon Selena through the signs. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for watching. And I'm going to say it's been quite a pleasant recording experience for me, I would say. I feel like by me talking about White Moon Selena in this way, I feel like I'm developing a much different relationship with this part of me. So that's really exciting. It's soothing, it's calming, I like it. Though, if you want to book a reading with me, you can visit my website, hannahselsewhere.com. And if you did find your description to be helpful, if you find the information to be helpful, you can always buy me a coffee. Make sure to subscribe for more, everyone, if you haven't already. Give the video a like if you liked it today. Naturally, stay tuned for more, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye!